You hear the name Tesla, and what do you think of? Sleek electric cars, right? Cutting edge tech. But what if I told you that long before it was a world famous brand, it was a man? A man whose mind, and I mean this literally, electrified our world. So, yeah, we all know the name, but who was the man behind it all? Who was Nikola Tesla, really? What was going on inside the head of this genius, this visionary, who gave us some of the most fundamental inventions we rely on every single day? All right, to really get who he was, we've got to go back, way back. Let's find out where that first spark of genius really came from. Okay, so check this out. Tesla's early life was just a blur of brilliance. He was born in 1856 and was an absolute prodigy. I mean, he finished high school in 3 years. And get this, he could do complex calculus problems entirely in his head. By the time he hit university, the core idea for the AC motor, the thing that powers so much of our world, was already cooking in his brain. After a quick stop in Paris, he makes the huge leap to America in 1884. And he's got one name on his mind: Thomas Edison. And you know, what's so cool is where he said all that genius came from. It wasn't just school. Nope. Tesla always gave the credit to his mom. He had this incredible, photographic memory and this constant creative spark, and he said it all came from her. She never had any formal education, but she was always inventing things around the house. Tools, little mechanical gadgets, just brilliant. So here he is in America, and this is where it all starts. The Edison Machine Works in New York. They didn't ease him in either. They threw their toughest electrical problems at him right away. There's this great story where he stays up all night long fixing the power generators on an ocean liner. And even the great Thomas Edison had to admit it, calling Tesla a damned good man. High praise coming from him. But yeah, that dream job, it didn't last. 6 months. That's it. And the reason he quit is kind of crazy. The story goes, a manager promised him $50,000, which was an absolute fortune back then, if he could redesign their super inefficient generators. Well, Tesla, being Tesla, did it. And when he went to collect, the manager just laughed it off, saying it was just American humor. You can imagine how that went over. For Tesla, it was anything but a joke. That was it. He was done with Edison, and one of history's greatest rivalries was about to begin. And that one moment, that one joke, really set the stage for one of the biggest technological showdowns of the era. We're talking about the War of Currents. So what was this war all about? Well, it really boiled down to two totally different ways of thinking about electricity. On one side, you had Edison pushing direct current, or DC. It worked, but it was weak. You couldn't send it very far, which made it super impractical for, powering a whole country. On the other side was Tesla with his baby, alternating current, or AC. AC could be sent for hundreds of miles with almost no problem. But this was way more than just a technical debate. It was a clash of personalities. Edison was the hands-on guy, the tinkerer, trying 1,000 things until one worked. Tesla, he was the pure visionary. He would build and test entire inventions perfectly in his mind before he even picked up a single tool. And nothing, I mean nothing, sums up that difference better than this quote from Tesla about Edison. He said, "I was almost a sorry witness of his doings, knowing that just a little theory and calculation would have saved him 90% of the labor." Wow, that's a pretty brutal takedown, right? It just perfectly captures how differently their minds worked. Okay, so the final battleground for this war was the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. It was huge. George Westinghouse, who was smart enough to back Tesla, won the contract to light up the whole thing. And what a show it was. This dazzling display of Tesla's AC system showed millions of people that, hey, this AC stuff is safe, it's powerful, and yeah, it is absolutely the future. It was a total game changer. But here's the thing about Tesla. Winning the War of Currents? For him, that was just getting started. His brain was already operating on a whole other level, dreaming up stuff that people wouldn't even begin to understand for decades. We're moving way beyond just light bulbs now. You're looking at the patents that basically built our modern world. The AC induction motor and the AC power system, these are the foundations. And by licensing them to Westinghouse, Tesla became a very rich man. And you know what that money gave him? The freedom to chase his wildest, most out-there ideas. And when I say wild, I mean wild. Check this out. It's 1898, he's in Madison Square Garden, and he's steering this little boat around a pool with no wires, using a radio controller. He called it teleautomatics. He thought, hey, this could be a guided torpedo. But the military was like, nah, we're good. Can you believe it? People were watching the birth of robotics and remote control, and they had absolutely no clue what they were looking at. And then there's this picture. I mean, come on. It looks like something out of a movie, but it is 100% real. That's Tesla just sitting there, chilling, while his machine shoots out millions of volts of artificial lightning all around him. He wasn't just a brilliant scientist, he was a master showman. He knew exactly how to create this image of a man who could literally command lightning. This was supposed to be his magnum opus, the Wardenclyffe Tower. And get this, his plan wasn't just to send messages. Tesla dreamed of a global wireless system that could beam electrical power through the ground to anywhere on Earth. Free energy for everyone. It was his ultimate vision. But when his big shot funder, JP Morgan, pulled out, the whole thing just came crashing down. That failure at Wardenclyffe, it was a huge blow. It really marked the start of a long, sad decline for Tesla. But his story, his impact, that was far from over. It's just heartbreaking when you think about it. Here's the man who literally designed the power grid for the world, and he spent his last years moving from one New York hotel to another, a lot of the time leaving behind unpaid bills. He had almost no money. His mind was as sharp as ever, but he lost the influence and the cash to make his visions a reality. He wasn't a total recluse, though. The world hadn't completely forgotten him. On his 75th birthday, back in 1931, he was on the cover of Time magazine, and the caption says it all the world's his powerhouse. I mean, that's a pretty incredible tribute, recognizing that his work was literally everywhere, even while he himself was living this quiet, difficult life. He died at the age of 86, alone in his room at the Hotel New Yorker. It was such a quiet, solitary end for a man whose ideas were so loud, they changed the world. So after all that, what's his legacy? Well, let's just start with a number. 300. That's about how many patents Tesla got in his lifetime. 300. For just one person, that is just an unbelievable level of creativity. But it's so much bigger than just patents, right? His name is literally a part of the language of science. The Tesla is a unit of magnetic strength. His work is the bedrock for radio, for remote controls, for the very power grid that's lighting up your room right now. There's an airport named after him in Belgrade. UNESCO protects his archives as a treasure of the world. And oh yeah, there's that little car company that carries his name. His legacy is absolutely everywhere. When you look back, Tesla's life is this incredible story of triumph, but also it's kind of tragic. He could see the future so clearly, maybe more clearly than anyone. But the world around him just wasn't always ready to see it too. And that leaves you with a really big question, doesn't it? It makes you wonder how many other incredible, world-changing ideas have been lost to time just because they were too far ahead of their own.